Alright, everybody. So, it's going to be a little hard for me to read the chat. I apologize in advance. But, hello, welcome. First things first. Oh, let me get off my Wi Fi. Okay, that should be better. Alright. Excuse me. Alright, so, first things first, I want to tell you that I've switched out my harmonics indicator. One of my members in the Discord group showed me a better one, and I'm always down for improvement. So let me show you which one that one is. Oh, looks like I didn't. It's this one right here. And yes, I'm recording this, so don't worry. If you missed this now, you can go back and always go see it later. This one has been really good. It actually predicts. It shows you how basically percent accurate they are for the most part, and then it lets you kind of go in there. So, in this example, right, this one showed you that an M was forming, and that it was 94 to 95% basically that it was going to play out accurately. And lo and behold, when it hit this bottom that it had, it started popping up. So from 67 to almost 70 now, it has, well, it actually, 69.50 it went to so far. It's already hit one target, so it should potentially even maybe go back up to here. We'll see. But this is a really nice indicator that he showed me. So I've been using this one instead of the other harmonics indicator, because as you can see, it shows you different ones. So like you might have this one, right? But then this more recent M played out for this, and then this W played out here, okay, and here, and then a little M form, which is driving us up here, which could then be making a larger W or something like that. We'll see whatever it shows us. But okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what we're doing here. We're using Trade-O-Vate. Trade-O-Vate is where our money is in. Okay, our money is in Trade-O-Vate. We have 15. Well, I have 1550 now. I started with 250, 500. I deposited 250 twice over the course of like a couple weeks, and I grew it to this while I was waiting for this to go live. Okay, and I've been trading strictly MES, MES. Okay, I look at MNQ every so often, but MES has been treating me really well. I've been trading just MES. So that's how you start off, and then as you get maybe like this gets to 2,000, 3,000, I might try and play one ES contract at a time and slowly build up from there. But this has been doing really good, and the goal is to show you how I did it and how you can also do this, right? So we're on Trade-O-Vate just to show you guys like what you're gonna want subscription wise. As you get on here, you do not need the membership. You do need the CME bundle, and this is just so that you can have your charts be accurate. And then you don't need any connections, but you do need, when you go to add-ons here, okay, you do need to go to add-ons, and let me just, there you go, click that, and I would recommend getting the Trading View one, which is $9.99 a month, and then turn on the tick stream, which is right here. It's this one right here. Turn that one on, and then turn on your free indicators one, and you can also do group trade and advanced charting as well, which are these two. Group trade will be like if you have multiple accounts, you can do them all together. Okay. And I did use Top Step as a funded account for a little while, but now we're using our own money, not a funded account, so we're on Tradeovate, okay? And I want to show you guys how you can build a small account doing this. So let me bring this back just a little bit. Okay, so this is what Tradeovate looks like. I have a couple charts here, so this way I can have a smaller time frame and a larger one, and kind of see like what does it look like on a bigger time frame. What am I seeing that could be potentially happening, and then what am I seeing on a smaller time frame as well, right? So on this bigger time frame, you'll notice, as I talk about harmonics patterns a lot, this was a big W that played out, and it actually ended up forming a nice big M. So we will see, because looking here, this W was the product of being the bottom of an M here, which drove us up, which created the last leg of this W, which then drove us down. So this could be creating a even larger M here, which could then really propel us up. And I've been looking at this on, look on TradingView on the 4 hour, and been noticing that, let me just make this easier, that we do have a massive W forming here, and the top of it would be somewhere around here, more than likely, and that's about $200, $300 more of movement upwards. So it would make sense that this would be an M that drives us upwards. Okay, now does that mean that we're going to move upwards tonight? Not necessarily, but it could be something that happens tomorrow. It could be something that happens maybe Monday, Tuesday, something like that. But it looks like short term we may have a nice quick move up to complete this bearish pattern, which will then drive us down drastically more than we moved up. So be prepared for that. All right. So looking ahead, now that you have this, you can go ahead and go to here on Tradeovate. I'm sorry, on TradingView. And on TradingView, if you look here at the bottom of your screen, you'll notice that you have something that says Trading Panel. And you can go here and you can scroll down to where Tradeovate is, which is right here. Press connect, you put in your info for this account up here for Tradeovate as you had, the same exact stuff. Put it in, and now you're connected. And now, as you can see, I have the exact same balance, account balance, as I showed you over there. So I can trade on here, or I can trade on Tradeovate. So what I like to do is I like to look at the tick charts on Tradeovate. And the way you put on the tick charts is you hover right here where the time frame is, and you go down to where it says ticks, and then you put in the ticks that you want. So the ticks that I use are 119 as my shortest, so that's during Globex. I'll use 119 and 238, which this is considered what we call Globex. So this is this is basically your short trade based off of small movements, okay, scalping for the most part. Then you got your 475, then you have your 987, and then you have 3000, okay? That's all I use. I'll use 987 and 3000 during the actual market, with 475 being my shortest time frame. And then while markets are closed, so like now, markets are closed but Globex is open, I use 119, 238, and then I'll look at the 987 and 3000 as overall trend, just so I can see where maybe we have a stop. So like if we continue down, I would probably have an exit somewhere here in the 63 range, 62, somewhere in there, because this is the bottom of here, and it would just make sense that we might turn up there. So that's just an example of how I would use the larger time frame while still using the shorter time frame. Because looking at the shorter time frame, we have this M here, which is driving us up short term, um, and this could drive us all the way up to here, and then kind of complete a W formation, which then drives us back down and rejects off the 200 EMA. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. What do we think is going to happen here? Personally, it's been really boring so far during Globex. The biggest move that we had was right here, and that was, you know, a $10 not even move or so. And that could be basically our range being formed. So what more than likely is going to happen is we come up, we bounce down somewhere in this vicinity, and then come back up again, and then bounce down, and then so on and so forth. That's kind of usually what happens during Globex. But what I am looking for, and the reason why I would do this, just to explain my thought process, is I'm looking for shorts right now for the simple fact that we should bounce down off of here. And with Globex, since it moves slower, if it happens to basically be, so what we'll do is we'll do a short at 70 with take profit and stop loss. So our take profit will be just $2 away. We're just trying to look for like 10 bucks, okay? And then our stop loss will be something like 81. Okay, because then we'll add to it if we need to. So let me see, this is what I want. Just making sure. Yes. Okay, so this is showing you how much you'll make, and this is showing you how much you'd lose. And so the reasoning behind me putting it here is because if we were to go this high above the 200 EMA, then we're probably going to come up to here and maybe reject, and then I can always re-enter something else off the rejection and make money that way. So I'd rather just kind of like let it go. But I don't want to let it go too early, because a lot of times you can kind of go slightly above and then kind of get that gravitational pull back down. So up here is nice, because by the time we get up here, if we were to, would be somewhere like right here, right? So that's a whole $5, $6 extra from that point. All right. So we're just going to patiently wait. We're like 1-2 ticks away from our entry, and a lot of times Globex is super boring. All right, but it is what it is. So, sorry, I'm just seeing some of the questions here, because I have my phone turned sideways so that everybody can see. So it's a little hard for me to read. But what indicators am I using? So indicators I'm using, if you'd like to know, go to the YouTube page that I have. Same name, Haskala Trading. You don't have to subscribe or anything to see it. If you look at this second video that I've uploaded that has the 108 views, I go over all the indicators that I use, how to set them up, and like how to use them by themselves, and then how to use them in tandem with everything else. Okay. So again, we're still patiently waiting here, and it's just a tick or two away. But you don't want to get greedy and try and enter too early, because, you know, every tick is $1.25 for you, and you're looking for just 10 bucks. So don't, you know, if at this one you don't get this one, it's okay. You can play the next range, right? The new harmonics pattern, I did not change anything, and it's been working outstandingly for me. So and see if anyone's asking questions on. Here we go. I see y'all on Twitch. Sorry that I am now just responding. Hello, everyone. Does anyone know if the challenge starts? And I hope you saw what data packages I went over for the TradingView and Tradovate. How do I have? So simply put, Globex moves slow. $2 ranges are usually what. That. Okay. I don't know why it doesn't want to. Failed to modify order. Why? Alright, well, as you can see, it literally it touched the order, but it didn't buy it, and it would have went just about where our sell would have been so far. So, um, where, again, you be patient. What we can do is when it bounces back up, if it starts bouncing off of here, we know this is for sure a range, right? This does look like an M though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait a second, because now I don't feel comfortable buying a short when this looks like an M. I'd like to wait and see if it comes back up to here and if it blows past it or not. And this is something you just have to do. All right, you have to be patient. Take the good high probability stuff. If you notice something that flips the way, you should get out of what you're trying to do beforehand, so that you don't get burned. All right. And let's see what the tick charts are looking like. Tick chart is also also looking a little bit like an M has formed here. So right here, there's an M, okay? And so far, it's been working, and it hasn't crossed below. So this is probably definitely going to move up to here. Which, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do what I was going to do. Because if it moves up to there, to that 78-ish, right, moves up to here, like I said, I'll average down. It'll then pop down, and it'll give us an exit while we have multiple contracts. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna keep this at 70. we're going to keep that there. And we're just going to be patient. One thing I do love about Trade-O-Vate also is their mobile app is really, really nice. Their mobile is really nice. You can actually trade on their mobile app very easily. Like they have a trade section and it's pretty easy to use. So it looks like we're about to get our fill.
Order filled.
Got our fill. Now, if we're basically going to average down every $2.50. Okay, so stop loss is still going to be 81. Profit take will be 69, just so that we can move it if we need to. Okay. And again, that's showing you how much profit you'll make. And currently we're at 0, so it hasn't even gone up to that spot yet. Let me see, are y'all asking questions? No. Should be 1 minute. Yeah, time frame 1 minute. I'll also sometimes go on the 5 minute on here as well, because again, MES moves a little bit slower. So during Globex, it's a lot easier to look at this. And again, this is looking mighty W-ish. So I'm pretty okay with short. But this is showing as well, there is a big M right here. So this small W could definitely just get absolutely annihilated, which is why we have a hard stop where we have it in the first place. So we'll average, basically what'll happen is we'll average down up to that spot every, $2.50 or so. And the goal is once we hit that, however many we have, right, that's it. It's done. Like it's out there. And so if we have, 5 or 6 at an average of 78 or 79, and it sells all of them at 81, basically the hurt of it is a lot less than you selling that one moving all the way up there. So you're getting the ability to do what you need to do. And so what I'm doing is I'm putting in shorts. So what I was doing is I would go to trade, create new order, on sell. So if I wanted it to go up, I would do buy, but I want sell. And then I'm picking basically the spot that I want it bought at. So this is the spot that I want it bought at, and then take profit and stop loss. I just put it where I want them to be. And that's it. Ooh, my son and my wife are home from decorating the grandparents' tree. Well, his great-grandparents. He's cranky. And I'll probably be on here maybe for another 40 minutes or so, and then I'm going to have to put my son to sleep. And then depending on how this goes, right, we might do 1 or 2 trades for the $10 or so, $10-$20, depending on how many contracts we get, or I should say shorts or longs we get. We'll be done. We might not even have to do any more later, so we'll see. And apologies for my son in the background, but he's a little cranky. He just got home, and he was napping in the car. So, and as you can see, as I was talking about bearish, um, this this came up. It's a bearish butterfly, has a 98% success rate on here, and it's saying that it probably is going to go up to around 71-ish, 71.25, and then start dropping. So I'm okay with that, if that's what it decides to do, which it did already kind of go there, so we should start getting our green, and $10 sounds about right. Yeah. What do the red so the red arrows, again, the arrows are telling you where it's predicting it's gonna go, and then like where that top area is where it'll start turning down. That's where the arrow is trying to show you. So in this case, it said here would be the top, and it already has touched there for the most part. So we should continue down. And this is one reason why during Globex, your entry is really important, right? Because had we entered right at that point where it was telling us right here, we'd be up $5 already, $6, something like that. So that's a way that you can use these, is for like pinpoint accurate entries. And there you go. We're tapping our exit here.
Order filled.
$10. I saw it in real time, baby. These things are outstanding. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna be patient here, and we're gonna just see what happens. All right, we want to see what this tries to do now. Does it break and continue to fly down? Because then that means that this is broken. And what we'll do is we'll probably do a little bit of this, and then we'll do another. So I'm okay with that, because then what that means is we're going down to lower ADR, which means we can just kind of keep doing our thing. So this looks pretty much like that's what's going to happen here. So I'm willing to move this back to there, and this to here. This is still in this range too, so we need to be careful about doing our shorts at the same time, because what could be happening is it could just still be playing out this big M here. But that's okay, because if it plays it out, we have a hard stop, no problem. So I'm going to move the profit take to actually 67.50, okay? Just seems like the right spot. And yes, turns, yes. So at the moment, I'm predicting it to go down. So at the moment, what I'm doing is I'm trying to get a sell at 70, which is about to fill. And again, if it fills it and it goes up to
Order
say
filled.
here, I'm okay with that because I'll add, right? So we got our order filled. We'll see if we make another 10 bucks. If we do, I might go ahead and get off. I know it seems tiny, but remember, with a small account with $500 to $1,000, you're looking for $20 at night. You're looking to try and then copy and do this same stuff during the day, and then make maybe another $20 to $50 or so. Again, so let's go ahead. We're doing 70 to 50 as our average down. Okay. Take profit. We can move this wherever we want. Later, we'll put it at 68 for now. Stop loss will still be 81. There you go. And what'll happen is this will move up to something like here. And then what we can do is we can move both of these upwards wherever we want to take our profit, which will be more than likely our point of control from our volume profile, which is right here at 69.25. So if we move up to 71, that's a pretty good win for two contracts. And then what we'll do here is we'll have the ability to do another at 75. Okay, 40 75. We'll do two shorts with a take profit of 70 or whatever, and a stop loss still of I don't know what my son is doing, 41. So like it'll be like that. All right. And for now, I'm going to move this to here just because I want to be able to see where I'm at there. Okay? Hope my win rate is 100%. It is very high, but it's not 100%. And the reason my risk to reward is so big at this point is simply because I'm high probability knowing that we should pop down off of one of these two here. So that's why my stop is up here, because at that point then it's not going to work out. But the whole point of averaging down is then my risk to reward shrinks as I average down, because it's getting predominantly closer to this point. If that makes sense. It works for me. And so I'm just trying to show people what works for me, man. If you don't like it, you don't have to. Cool beans. At the end of the day, the reason why it works for me, right? Because I don't do this the same way during necessarily 100% during market hours, but during Globex, this works well because you're ranging most of the time during Globex, until like Euro or whatever open. But now until 10, 12, it'll basically just kind of So realistically, if I was to get a short and I got it at the bottom, an average down will give me the ability to then get out at the bottom again. And it works maybe 7, 8 times out of 10 in terms of like the ranging aspect, what I'm talking about, and you being able to get out. Whether you get in at the bottom or you get in at the top on accident, whichever way you're trying to do. But it works. It works during Globex at least. And that's when we're going to be trading together. So that's what I'm doing. Because the goal of this, I guess, challenge is to show people that you can have a job, get off, trade when you get off, and be, make a little extra money, right? So I'm seeing your questions here now. Why not keep trading and make more money? Because when you start over trading, you give your gains back a lot of the time, and it's better to just set a goal and be done when you hit it. Explain the setting of the order. So remember, we're doing basically the profit takes at the moment. Don't worry about any of them except for the one that doesn't actually have a number on it. This one right here, because that coincides with this. These all will move as this gets hit, and this moves upwards because these are getting hit if it was to happen. So don't worry about the profit take spots per se right now. It's just to kind of have a thing that I can use to move later. The real goal or the real point that you need to worry about is your stop loss is all in the same spot, which was 81. The reason I have it there is because your 200 EMA, your open is here. If you continue to go through this, it's more than likely just going to keep going up. So there's no reason to keep adding on to a loser at that point. If you can get your average, as I said, we're going to keep averaging down. So, we average down here, we end up going here, right? Then we average down here, we end up going somewhere here. And then if it goes up any more to like 77.50, we're here, average down will then be somewhere here. And that would be a good point to then start falling down. If it doesn't do that and it goes up to here, then we'll exit, we'll have a loss, it is what it is. So how many contracts do I have at the moment? I have one, and in terms of risk, I mean the risk is until you cut it, right? But it costs $55 in margin on Trade-O-Vate to buy one. And so what it'll basically cut you off at a certain point. So I have still $1,300 in margin left. I've used $200 in margin with these set where they're at. If I didn't have these set, I'd only have used $55 in margin. Does that make sense? And remember, Globex is going to be pretty boring, so it ranges. If you don't want to sit here with me, I understand. You can, then it is what it is. But we made our $10 earlier. We'll see if we make it again real quick. Well, this would be $12.50, I believe. I'm actually, you know what? I'm gonna move this up to 68 again because I just want to take $10. Don't be greedy, okay? So we're up $2.50. It could very well pop up off of this, but I'm looking for another breakdown to around here, and that'll give us our exit. And then I'm just going to call it a night for now. And then tomorrow, remember, during market open, so you could use the same tools that you see here. And what you do is you want to wait until about an hour and a half, 2 hours after market opens, and you're going to let the market show you what it's done. So once we're done with this last trade, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and kind of show you what I did today and how I went about making $150 during market open during the day. Okay, because that will kind of show you how you can play during the day and make quick, $100, $150. If you have the time, maybe during your lunch break or something like that. Again, like I said, you can trade on your phone with Tradovate. So you can chart with TradingView mobile, and you can do your trading on Tradovate mobile, and it works pretty well. I do it all the time whenever I go somewhere. So it's a little more in depth, obviously, than just a little click and a click, but it works well. So it looks like we're about to get our exit. Come along. Give it to me. And then I can show y'all how to play during the day. And that'll be more beneficial, I think, for those of you that do have the time. It'll be very beneficial. So, you know what? I almost want to move this up one tick. I'm moving it up one tick. $7.50. It won't be $10, but I'll take it.
Order filled.
All right. So we're done with that. Now let's go ahead and show you basically how market was during the day today, which is all right here. Okay, so this was during the day. What happened was we got what you would have seen first is this W wouldn't have popped up. The red would not have popped up first. What would have popped up was this M, because again, this popped up after the M came to fruition. All right, so ignore the red for now. Look at the green. So you would have seen this. We would have opened, right before open. This is about 30 minutes before open. You see this M pop up. Boom. Now open is happening. Okay? Open's happening right here. This M plays out and creates a W, which it shows you, which pile drives us straight down. So from here, if you played this W where it told you, first of all, if you played the M, let's talk about the M. If you played the M where it told you 90 to, let's say you secure, I really hate that it's not showing my plays that I made earlier today, because normally it would show your plays that you made earlier in the day. Let me see if it'll show it here. Because I played pretty early and then I stopped. So I'm looking for any plays on this chart that I can show you guys that I made. Because it's kind of annoying. Alright, guess not. Alright, I guess since it reset during like the new day, basically what I did was I saw this play out. I had this on. I saw this play out. It also was a bounce off the 200 EMA. Played it, but I played it 2 contracts at a time. And what I did was I entered at 90 and I exited at 95. Okay? And then from there, when I saw it continuing up, I entered at 97.50, so a $2.50 change. I re-entered, and then I exited again $5 later. Okay, got my exit, cool. And then what happened is I actually had a short set here at 105, but I had my stop loss at 09, and as you can see, it it literally went straight through, tapped my stop loss, and then died. So what I ended up having to do, and it was fine. I ended up losing $50, but I had already made 100. Okay, so I was back down to 50. Now what happened here is I saw it do this, and I saw the 200 EMA. So I thought to myself, hey, I want to wait to see if we bounce fully or if we reject. So I waited a little bit, and when we got to here, I said, okay, we're rejecting. I got in a short, two shorts actually. I got in two contracts at a time, and then I got in at like 85 because I try and get in at $2.5 to $5 increments. So basically, it's either going to be like 80, 82 and a half, 85, 87 and a half, or 90, right? It's just because typically as a human being, you happen to have like your own emotions or whatever. Like people like those numbers as stops and as entries. So you tend to see quick moves at those. Like if it happens to touch it, and you can see it here, right? 85, and then you see a bunch of little bullshit like candles that are moving up and down for a little bit, and then it finally picks a direction and goes down. Okay, and I would even be willing to bet you when it hit this 80, it did a little bit of this nonsense and then finally picked the direction down. It could only happen for a few seconds, but that few seconds can be enough for you to get $10, $15, or something like that, and that's all you're looking for. And if you have two contracts, that's $20, right? So that's how I'm trying to play during the day. I try and get two contracts, three contracts at a time in whatever direction that my biases are telling me via indicators, and I go ahead and exit maybe a $2.50 to $5 away. Okay, it's very useful. It helps really well. And then again, you see here an M that plays out and goes upwards. That creates a W that plays out. That creates an even bigger W that plays out, creating an M that is now looking like it is either going to, this M has failed, okay, so this M has failed, but it looks like it could be creating a larger M that could potentially skyrocket us, and technically this M is still active because the profit takes can go up as high as the upper ADR on this M. And it hasn't been broken yet. But once this low has been broken, I would be willing to bet that not only do we take lower ADR, we chop here for a little bit, and then we take it out and we continue down. So this is how you can use this stuff during the day. Remember, this harmonics indicator, very useful. It shows you stuff in advance too. Sorry about my son in the background. It's very useful. If you missed which one it is, don't worry. I talked about it. I will be uploading this video onto YouTube. The YouTube is Haas Collar Trading, same as it is here, just without the underscore. And it'll be the brand new video, and you'll get to see which indicator it is. I didn't change anything about it. All right. So let me see if anyone asks any other questions. Sorry. I'm just looking. Any idea why it's saying this, Justin? Yes, I do. So you're putting in just the generic MES. You need to put in the current contract. So the current contract is MESZ 2022. So basically what you have is you have your, basically it says MES, right? And it's just showing you MES, the chart. But you have quarterly contracts. So you have one for the first quarter, January through like March or whatever. Then you have one for March through, the next quarter, and then you have one for the last quarter, which is through the end of December, which is the one we're currently in, and then it'll roll over to the next one. And Tradeovate should tell you which one is the current one. When you like start typing in MES, it'll want you to put in MESZ. You just have to make sure that you use the same one. And yes, Mark, that is correct. The red arrows are where I enter my short. The blue arrows are where I exited. Yes, 618 is the first profit take. And yes, thank you, Steve. He's the one in my Discord group who showed me this one. Super appreciate it. I've been loving it. It's been working like a charm. So I love it. Appreciate it, man. And Churns, I do like the target points in the last one. The only difference about the reason I like this one versus the last one is this one's predictive. The other one kind of shows it as it's already started playing out, and sometimes you can miss points. So the good thing about this one is if you have points where you want to take profits, so like I do at $2.50 or $5 or whatever, right? The entry points are solid. They're super good. So. And remember, you can also use during Globex, you can use, bigger time frames if you want. This could very well fall all the way down to 60. Excuse me. Throat got scratchy. And yeah, but this is showing that we're in a big M. Like I told you, right? We had that big M. This is showing it on the bigger time frame that we are in a bigger M. That could potentially drive us up. And this actually does show you, once it's played out and it's hit the target point that it thinks is the bottom, it actually does show you target points. So what it's showing you is this is your first target point and this is your second target point, and you can take profit at the first target and anywhere in here and here. So this would be your last target, but what I would recommend doing is, say you had multiple contracts, I would recommend taking your first or like 70 to 80% of your play, take it here, and then take the rest somewhere like right here. Just be, if you're frugal and you take conservative wins, you're gonna win more often than you lose. It's just kind of the nature of things. If you have a high probability, basically pattern playing out, if you take a small win, you're gonna be good. So, again, I want to touch base with you guys that are interested in the lives that are going to be tuning in kind of religiously about when I will be doing this. So, it's not going to be a hard start time, all right? It's going to be somewhere between 6 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. I'm going to go live, okay? And that's Central Time, okay? I'm in Texas, Houston, Texas, all right? So it's going to be somewhere in that time frame. I'm going to go live. Just have your notifications turned on. You'll see me. I'm going to get started like after I go live. Within a couple minutes of going live, I get started. All right. Basically, the point that I'm trying to do is I'm not going to even look at anything. Once markets close, I'm not going to look at the charts or anything until I go live, so that we can be fresh together, like as if I just got off of work and came home with you, like you just got off work and came home. We're looking at the charts, we're seeing what's going on, we're trying to gauge where everything's going to go, and we're talking it out together, and we're getting in plays. We're trying to make, $20, $50. Slowly it'll go up to 100, then 150. But Globex, we're just trying to make a small little amount, go to bed, enjoy ourselves, feel good about ourselves, and then during the market, during the day, whenever you have, say, your lunch break, or you go to, take a shit on the clock or whatever, I don't know what you do, you can go ahead and go on your phone and use the same stuff and make a quick play with like 2 contracts or whatever, and make 20, 40, 50 bucks real quick, and be really excited and happy about what you've done. And then go back to work, and you can kind of consistently make around $100 to $150 a day. So that's kind of the idea, is to show you guys how to do this stuff during a slower time frame, slower time, so that we can actually practice it, talk about it, see what's going on, and then during the day you can utilize the things that you've learned and make even more money, because it moves more volatile, but same things still apply. You just get more time to do it. All right? So yes, I would say that currently, I mean, like overall, the play should probably be a long, right? If you're looking at this overall, several things are going on here, right? We have the 200 EMA. This looks like a fucking pennant, like a bull pennant, right? Tap off here and then skyrocket. So realistically, if you wanted to play all fucking night, what I would do is I would set a buy order somewhere around maybe like 65, and then another one at 60, with my exit at like 55 or so, 55, maybe 52 and a half, and average down up to that point, and then have my exit somewhere at around like 70, 75. Because even though it'll fly upwards, you're just trying to be conservative. If you enter at 65 or 60, that's a $5 to $10 move in your way. You're going to be pretty fucking happy. So that's how I would go about it. But I'm not greedy. At night, I'm just looking for a little bit. It's been working for me this way. I'm happy. I can go to sleep, with a grin on my face, knowing that I made 20 bucks or whatever. So, yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and hop off now. Been on for an hour, so I may get back on. After I put my son to sleep here in 10 minutes, I may hop back on, like say at 9:30 or something. We'll see. But look for it. If you get a notification, join me. If not, look for me tomorrow. I'll be on again somewhere between 6 and 8:30. I'll jump on and we'll make another like $20 to $50, and or lose $50 and be done. Okay. The whole point is to be very consistent with our profit takes and our stop losses, and show you, this is real money. I'm not using paper money. This is real money. This is my money that I put in here. So we're doing this together. All right. And I want to show you guys how to do this together. And that this is doable, and I turned $250 into 1,500, or like 15. This is 1,565 now, 1,566 in the course of 1 month. Now that doesn't sound like a whole lot, making basically $1,000 in 1 month. That's not really a whole lot. You can't survive off of that. But consider this: it was compounded, most of it, in the last like 2 weeks. So the first 2 weeks was mainly going from 250 to like 500 or so, and then the last 2 weeks was 500 to 1,500. So when you think of that, now we should be starting to make $1,000 every couple weeks or something like that. So yeah. And Steve, you are correct. There is a CME in TradingView. That's all you need if you only want to use TradingView. But I highly recommend biting the bullet and paying for it on Trade-O-Vate, because these tick charts are what you want for futures. Tick charts are like time charts. It sounds weird to say, but they're absolutely irrelevant when it comes to what's actually going on with the stock, or what's actually happening. Tick charts actually show you what's like the real movement of the stock. And so the amount of ticks then kind of help you have a time frame, and that's how you can then utilize a time frame. But ticks, they don't have them in TradingView, so I recommend biting the bullet, paying the $40, and getting your tick charts in Trade-O-Vate. But if you don't want to, and it's up to you, obviously. But yeah. Okay, and before I go, I'm going to show really quickly, short, an easy way. What I'll do it on a paper trade so that I can show it fully. But this is how you do a trade. So, say we were going to enter a long, okay? Just for shits and giggles, we want to enter a long at right here where we're at, okay? So you're going to right click on Trading View. You're then going to go to Trade, okay? You're going to go to Create New Order. Now, if I want it to go long, I need to make sure it's on Buy. If I want it to go short, I need to make sure that it's going to be on Sell, okay? I'm going long. Now, my long order is at 67, okay? I want it to be at 67. One contract, so however many contracts you want. If I wanted two, I do two here, but I just want one. Now my take profit, let's say, is at 70. We're just gonna make this easy. Take profit, 40, 70, okay? Good, that's $15. That's what this is telling you right here. This is 15, yeah, it should be $15, okay? Now, stop loss. My stop loss would be, let's say, 55, okay? So now my stop loss price is 55. My profit take price is 70. My entry is 67. Well, now it's going to be lower. It's going to be 66 because that's where it's moved since we've been talking. Still the same entry, still this and this will be the same, okay? Boom. So now we wait, and what this is showing us is this is our entry. We just got it filled. This is our exit, and this is how much we would make if it hits, okay? And this is our exit for our stop loss, and this is how much we will lose if it hits, okay? But this is the cool thing is, what I plan on doing is if it starts going down instead of up, I'm going to average down. I'm going to average down. So our first is here at 66. So what I'll do is I'll average down at 62 and a half because, that's the closest 5 or 2.5 section that we have, right, out of 5s. So we're going to go here to create new order again, buy, 62 and a half. Stop loss is still 55, okay? This is how you're going to make sure that they're the same. While your profit take, it doesn't matter what your profit take is. Okay, your profit take can be whatever. But we're gonna put it at like 71 because the profit take, it doesn't matter right now. What's going to end up happening is these two, if it was to fill, we're going to smush them together and we're going to move it based off of where this is now at. So if this moves down, right, like we have an order here to buy another one, right? We're going to buy another one there, and this moves down to, say, there, right? Well, these, I'm going to move them down so that we can just secure a gain, all right? So currently this play, had I done it, is up $6, right? $7.50. So what we can do is we see what's kind of happening here. Let's go ahead and secure at 68.5 instead. So now I can move it, and now I can see I'm at $6.5, $7.50, but now my profit take is $12.50, right? So we're slowly creeping up on it. And if I want to now, like I like to take at, during Globex, $10, I can move it to $10. And what keeps happening, if you notice, is it keeps tapping off that spot. So if you look at it closely, it keeps tapping off that $10 spot and then going down. That's why it stays. So wherever you have your sell order at during Globex, it needs to go another another tick above or below wherever your sell is, if that makes sense. So in this case, if our sell order is going upwards at 68, it needs to be at 68.25 for it to buy this and then give us our $10. And so this would just be a nice, good example, slow, easy example for you to see how you would do it. Okay. No, you wouldn't get liquidated with the $500 account on this drawdown. Now, at a certain point, though, you have to realize every time you buy one, that's $55 in margin. So every order being $55 in margin, right? So I can't, it doesn't show it on here because I'm just doing the paper trading to show you guys. But it'll show you like how much of your margin you've used and like how much you have left. And once it gets to a certain point, you'll actually get a notification like, hey, you're about to get liquidated. And when you get liquidated, it's like a little fee. I think TradeOvate charges you like a $20 fee or something like that if you get liquidated. So, but it's not like you won't go. The good thing about TradeOvate is it won't necessarily let you go negative, which is nice. Because if you were using, say, TD Ameritrade, you could go negative. So look, we keep touching our sell order, and it's not quite giving it to us. So let's go ahead and move it down one tick so we can secure 875. I'm okay with that. So the reason why it's margin, Enig, Massifer, is because I almost got canceled there. Is because each contract is technically not $55 worth. It's more than that. They're giving you margin for $55 worth. Every $55 you have, they're giving you margin to borrow, to basically to buy it. Does that make sense? So yeah, it ended up buying that. We ended up making our little 875. Cool beans. So showed you that one quick play on there, and we're done. I'm done. So correct, Crown Weaver, yes. Yeah, I'm pretty bearish myself. Prime chin. Just myself, I'm pretty bearish, but at the same time, I do know that we have room, like ES, for example, like I showed earlier on the 4-hour chart. Let me show again. We do, in order to fulfill the rest of this W, if it wanted to, it could move all the way upwards another $200, even $300. So we do potentially still have more room to go upwards, but it's to fulfill a bearish pattern to then draw us down a whole lot. So yeah, my son is getting cranky. It's time for bed. I'm gonna see y'all later. Potentially, maybe tonight. Don't know if I'll be on anymore tonight. But if I am, I'll see y'all in like an hour. If not, I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Again, between 6 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. tomorrow Central Time, I'll be on. Okay. So, catch y'all later. Love y'all. Peace.